stop. Picture this right now. You just bared your soul, shared your deepest, most vulnerable truth, and the person across from you looks back with a predatory grin and flattens you with a single word. Instead of guilt, pure delight flashes in their eyes. Real pleasure. They're getting high off it. Genuine high. Why? What the hell is going on inside the heads of people like that? Welcome to the podcast where we dive into the stuff most people look away from. Today, one of the darkest mysteries of human nature. Why some people literally get off on humiliating others. These aren't movie villains. This could be your coworker, your relative, or someone you once called a friend. And yes, the answers are going to be harsh, but they're honest. Ready to go deeper? Let's dive in. First, let's call it what it is. This isn't just a bad personality. Psychologists have identified a distinct phenomenon, everyday sadism, or ordinary sadism. Not serial killers, not sexual deviants. Regular people who get an emotional rush from someone else's suffering. Studies show these individuals are willing to invest time and effort just to hurt you. They don't stop at a random jab. They deliberately choose situations where they can inflict maximum discomfort, and they savor every second of it. Why? Because humiliation gives them what they desperately lack inside, a sense of absolute power. In that moment, you're nothing, and they're God. Dopamine floods their system. Your pain becomes their personal victory. And this isn't random. It's a built-in trait that belongs to the so-called dark tetrad of personality: narcissism, psychopathy, Machiavellianism, and sadism itself. These traits often travel together. Zero empathy, massive hunger for control. Your tears aren't tragedy to them. They're entertainment. But it's not that simple. Many of these humiliators are narcissists carrying a huge inner void. Deep down, crushing low self-esteem masked by an illusion of superiority. When they crush you, they're not really destroying you. They're trying to fill their own hole. If I make you smaller, I become bigger. It's temporary doping. 5 minutes later, the high fades, and the cycle restarts. They hunt for the next victim because their own insecurity never left. Then there's a third layer: childhood trauma. Someone who was constantly humiliated as a kid learns one brutal lesson: to avoid being the victim, become the executioner. They project their old terror onto others. Strike first so you're never struck. Add social norms. In hierarchical systems, humiliating the weak supposedly reinforces the strong status. The boss publicly tears apart a subordinate, and everyone stays silent. That's just how it is. Meanwhile, the quiet sadist inside him is quietly celebrating. Look around. The online troll who spends hours crafting the perfect way to wound you. The toxic manager who puts you in an embarrassing spot in front of the whole team. The partner who, jokingly, picks at your insecurities until you start doubting your own worth. Every single one of them draws energy from your discomfort. Pure schadenfreude, joy at someone else's misfortune. Except, here it's not an accidental smirk. It's deliberate hunting. And the scariest part, they rarely change. Because they like being this way. To them, another person's pain isn't a problem. It's a source of pleasure. They feel no guilt. On the contrary, they're proud of their strength. So what do? First and most important, understand. This is never about you. It's about their internal hell. You didn't deserve it. You're not weak. You're not too sensitive. You simply ended up next to someone whose empathy mechanism is broken. Second, starve them of fuel. The sadist feeds on your reaction. Tears, explanations, visible pain, a cold response, silence, walking away, and their high dies instantly. Boundaries, clear, emotionless. I'm not discussing this. The end of story. Third, if it's someone close, don't try to save them alone. Therapy can work, but only if the person genuinely wants to change. Sadists usually don't. They're fine as is. And finally, the most crucial thing, cultivate the opposite inside yourself. Empathy, respect, the ability to see another human being, not an object for self-boosting. The world gets noticeably cleaner when we stop letting darkness run the show. Friends, if this episode hit home, drop a comment. Have you ever dealt with someone like this? How did you handle it? Maybe we'll break down your story in the next episode. If right now you feel someone breaking you from the inside, remember, you're not alone. Your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. You're stronger than you think. Take care of yourself and the people around you. Subscribe. Drop a like so you don't miss the next deep dives into the hardest questions in psychology. See you in the next episode.